All right. Hello, Abby. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm so glad you're here today with me. I'm always, it kind of tickles my soul when you're in the screen with me. You're always positive and always smiling. So I love that about Abby. So, so Abby,
Positively
tell me
great.
a little bit about Abby. How long have you been the tech angel?
Well, technically, I've been a tech angel since the 90s, but giving my persona to everyone, it's only been a short while. But I've been doing the same idea of taking care of people and their computer for years and full time since 2015.
Wow, awesome. So did you go to school to learn this? Did you learn
Nope.
it on your own? Did you?
Yeah. Well, what happened was my dad saw when I was in my early teens, and my dad saw computers coming into the printing industry. So he kept up to date on what was happening. And so he started off with a IBM Selectric and then a Radio Shack Commodore and then Pentium, the series. Every time we got his hand-me-down, my brother and I would take it apart, make it better, put it back together, have fun with it. And we learn about the software, the hardware, everything. And when it got to the 90s, it was like, this is all easy. And technology has changed. Computers really haven't changed physically. There's been made smaller, more compact for different reasons, things like that. But the underlying idea of there's a motherboard, a CPU, the different components are all still there as technology grew. And it's all a matter of nowadays, is making sure your software is working properly with your hardware.
And you know what? So many times in the past, when my computer would crash or my laptop would crash, they would all, most of the time it was software, most of the
Yes.
time. I don't know why or any reason for it. They always say, well, maybe it got a virus or maybe this or maybe that. But Abby, I would take it up to one of the box stores, not saying names. And I know for many years we bought our computers because, you would have to buy all these components to your computer. And then we went to laptops, which was a little easier. But you know what? Even with a laptop, I still have a big screen on my desk and lighting and external cameras. And so I don't know if I really made more room because you know what? I never even opened my laptop. It's just like a brain. That's the way I see it. Not being a tech person.
Yeah.
The laptop is the brain and everything else is what I really visually see every day because I never opened that laptop. But I do remember going to the big box stores and, thinking, I have this warranty, no issues, because you buy that warranty when I used to. I don't even do that anymore because I found that I was never truly able to use it to the fullest extent that I needed it. I would go there and they would say, okay, come back in 10 to 12 days or 10 to 14 days and pick up your laptop or your computer. And I'm like, well, okay, are you going to give me a loaner one? Because, we don't have multiples in our house at that time. So I was out of business. I was literally out of business. So I would, back then, those days, my girls were still in school. I would run up to the school and do things because they all knew me. So I could go up to the school and kind of work in the computer lab. Then I was teaching the same thing. But then when I was out of that, I couldn't work because I didn't have a computer or laptop. And then we outgrew, I guess, the crash they stopped crashing, but they would just get too slow for what I was doing. So then instead of upgrading it, the hardware, I guess, we would just go buy another laptop because yes, laptops are still expensive to an extent, but not like they were. Do you know what I mean? They used to be triple the price as what they are now. So, I mean, we have an extra one. It just runs slower now if something would happen. But the crazy thing is, you've been able to fix almost, I mean, I've never had issues that you couldn't fix virtually. It's
Correct.
pretty amazing that, I mean, why didn't we think of this years ago? I just, COVID brought in some really harsh things for us to learn and understand, but it did bring some greatness and shine light on some things. I try to find the
Yes.
positive of everything. So, what is, how do you feel about that? How do you love the virtual world, being able to help people do that instead of
Oh,
getting in
yes.
your car and having to do it?
Yeah. Well, I enjoy the interaction with people, regardless of whether it's in person or online. It's the finding out what their problems are with their computer. And then, in the process, I'm reassuring them that everything's going to be fine. This is what we do. Let them ask questions so they understand what went wrong and, or why. It's all a matter of, also people were scared to admit there's something wrong. Well, I have the attitude and the patience to say, we all have what we're good at. I'm good at tech. You're good at what you do. And I love that. Everybody has what they're good at,
Right.
and so I take the attitude that there's no silly question. They're all viable questions because we can't expect everyone to know what I know about computers. And then there's you'd mentioned there was the aspect of the computer gone for 10 to 14 days. Well, we schedule a hour, 2 hours, whatever, and presto, you go on with your business.
Right.
No more this idea of waiting days or weeks to get your business back on the ground. I, as an example of that, lost my web server, went down twice, 4 days each time. And that really hurt the business. It was out of my hands because it's not my service. That was a third-party service. They got to fix the server. So I was reliant on their time. Bringing back the point of you can't be in a situation where you're relying on other people. You've got to be able to fix the problem right away.
Yes.
And that's what I'm here for. So yes, COVID brought me to this point of helping everybody everywhere.
Yes.
I
I
was
it.
telling some people that 90% of my work now is done online by telephone and then any desk. 5% of my time is coaching people through their problem by phone. 5% of my time is actually working on items physically here in my home office.
Oh,
That's
so do
pretty
you
awesome.
have people that bring their equipment to you when you can't
Yes.
fix it online?
That's right.
Okay. Okay. Got
Only 5% of my time is that.
That's
And
awesome.
because some of these issues, I can actually coach a person step by step what to do to fix it
Right.
remotely. Again, not leaving it till a week or two later.
Correct. Because that's really, you think about it, in our world today, that was so silly to think that you have to leave it for 10 to 14 days. But guess what? I went to one of the box stores to buy not a laptop, but a new camera. And we overheard they were still telling everyone 10 to 14 days, leave their equipment, you know. And then they said, well, you said I had where they come to the house, which I remember I had that the last warranty that I did. Yes, but they will not, we can do that, but they will not be out to your house for 14 days. So either way, because they were backed up, because they don't have enough service people in the field to go and do what they need to do. And I was thinking to myself, wow, wouldn't that be amazing if they were full of people in an office somewhere like Abby that can just do it online? That would be amazing. But for some reason, that's not what they've chosen to do. And I think they're missing out, Abby, because, you know, when you first hooked up with me and I found you, it was amazing because you had to spend some extra time with me because I wasn't out, my computer wasn't down. It was just, it was a mess. You know, you had to move some things around and Abby doesn't do just software that's in your laptop. She can do your phone. She can do your tablets. She helped me with my Zoom. I was having issue with Zoom, and not just one issue, but a few issues. And she even had to reach out to Zoom or whomever and help us get answers, but we did get them. I would have never known how to get those answers because I honestly thought something was wrong with my laptop. I didn't know that it would be Zoom itself. So it's pretty amazing that in today's world that we have AnyDesk and probably other programs similar to AnyDesk, and that you can utilize those to take over. And it's pretty amazing when I see the mouse moving, but I'm just sitting here and I'm not having to do anything but just sit here and watch you do your magic. Because guess what, Abby? I don't want to be a tech person. I don't want to learn how to do it. I just want it to be done because literally, you've heard me say it. When I go get in my car, I want it to start. When it doesn't start and it's broken, I just want to go buy a new car, which is very expensive, especially right now. When my laptop breaks or my screen, I literally just want to throw them through the window because it frustrates me so badly. And now that I've met Abby, all I do is send her a message, call her, whatever. She gets back to me as I feel like as soon as possible. Sometimes in minutes, sometimes it may take a couple of minutes, but it's not long. Even if she doesn't have time right there and then, she will assure me, hey, give me 20 minutes or, 2:00 today, I can get to you or whatever. Not tomorrow, not the next day, but the same day she reaches back out to me. And that's what I love about your service. And then you've got Dar that also reaches out for you sometimes to your customers, which is great that you have your helper. So, and I know she's a blessing for you as well, just to have that backup, answer the phone, hey, call her back and let her know. And I really love that. And I know you've been coming to a lot of events with Networking Expert. You've been on Millionaire Marketplace. You've been at Coffee Time and Happy Hour, and you've been to Monday Mojos and Throwback Thursdays. You've even talked in the past on Throwback Thursday. So how do you feel about the events, Abby? What are your thoughts? What do you want people to know?
Well, what I like a lot about it is there's not a lot of about chat. It's about your Millionaire Marketplace. It is very clear what you're all about, and you get to talk. Each of us gets to talk to the entire group. That is one of the key things for me. One of the reasons why I keep coming back is because I want to reach out to everyone, not just a breakout room. A lot of groups, you're not even supposed to talk about your business. You're supposed to talk about a topic that they bring up. So the reach of people is awesome in your groups.
Thank you. That's one of the great things when I put the platform together is that, I went to a lot of different groups, events, summits, workshops, and I would say, oh, I love that. I don't understand why they're doing it that way. Oh, that's the same way every time. I wanted it to be a mixture of everyone getting to talk about themselves, about their products. I want to have question and answer time with every event. I feel like that's so important. And I've never been to an event that they truly let question and answers to everyone in the group. Even if it's 1 minute, at least everyone gets a minute to themselves. And I think that's very valuable. Number one, it gets people to know you and like you and start learning to trust you. And that is what it's all about right now. I mean, that is the day we live in, is that people don't want to buy from people unless they know, like, and trust you. And how better way can they do that besides truly hearing you talk, you talking to them continuing to see you come back for more and more and more. And that's one of the things. So thank you for saying that, because that was a big issue with me, is that I wanted everyone to be able to have their time to shine. Whatever topic, whatever you're selling, whatever service you're selling, whatever ticket you're selling, whatever it is, so that everyone can get out. But two, what do you think about the growth? Do you think people are growing in the area of knowledge right now? Because that's another thing, is I wanted people to learn as we have these events.
Well, what I'm seeing is a bunch of people per meeting, per gathering, I should say. I like the word gathering better than a meeting, but the what I'm seeing is a bunch of people that are growing every day, not necessarily on my topic, but they're growing in a lot of different ways. Their personality, their presentation, you name it, they're growing in some way or another. And that is an awesome thing, because I am growing every day, learning new tech, figuring out what went wrong with that new tech, et cetera, et cetera. It's a joy because I'm learning every day. It's a joy to see other people learning and growing every day too.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Abby. When you're an entrepreneur, for people that's never been an entrepreneur, they don't really understand. It's that, oh my gosh, I need this much to pay my bills. Oh my goodness, I don't know. Did I make her happy? Did I make him happy? Is this going to be the right size, the right shape? Is this going to be the event that they want to come and talk, or the event they want to come and listen? And so when I put this platform together, I wanted the speakers to speak on everything and anything, because that is the way people learn. And, maybe you're not the best speaker out there, but how do you become one of the best? By speaking. Maybe you're not you don't have your pitch down, as we call it in our world. Well, how do you get it down? You practice it, and no better way than to practice it in front of people. And in our environment, I tell everyone, we don't judge. You are in a good place. This is a safe place for everyone to join. Do you think that? Do you feel that in our
yes. That's why I had to create my Tech Talk Thursday event, just for that very reason. And I feel that with your groups too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Because people do I feel like entrepreneurs know when they need to grow. They may not do it, but they know they need to do it. They may not know how to do it, but they know they know something's not jiving just right. Because guess what? Every day, every week, every month, every year, things change. We are in
Yeah.
a vital life of change. Tech, especially, every kind of tech.
Oh yeah.
Computers, laptop, tablets, phones, cars, automobiles of all kinds, they're all changing. Everything's changing. Those components change.
Okay.
So you know what? You have to be willing to change, pivot. And sometimes we have to pivot fast to make things work.
Yeah. For sure.
So is there anything else that you would like to point out with what you do or what we've been doing at our events or?
Well, I would love people to keep in mind an analogy that I have. Everybody knows that cars, doesn't matter the make, in North America, the steering wheel is in one place, the accelerators there, brake pedals there, and sometimes a clutch. They all know the signals are somewhere behind the steering wheel. They all know that the AC and fan are somewhere in the middle. Bottom line is, computers, any business can have their relationship to the same idea. There's computers. They all have a CPU. They all have a desktop. They all have the different things. It's just a matter of comparing Windows to Mac. They all have the same things. They just look a little different.
Never thought of it
So,
that. But
yeah.
why not? Because you know what? It's all about the engineering of the product, right? Car, computers, phones, it's all, it's kind of like being a human, I guess, when you put in that, we have arms, we have legs, some are shorter, some are longer. Some of us think better than others. Some of us, well, we all think differently. Come on. None of us think the same.
Well,
Some
we have the brain to think.
we do, and I always, when my children were younger and I was, I would, when I was teaching school, I would always say, okay, you have a noodle up there somewhere in your head. Start letting it cook. Come on, we all have it, putting it down to perspective for a child. But that's right. Use your brain. Don't ever stop using it because, well, number one, the doctors will tell you when you stop using your brain, you start losing a little bit of that brain a little bit at a time. So even if you think there's no, because I used to say, I have no more room to think. I can't learn anything else because it's full.
Wrong.
But it never stops. I keep learning something every day. And
But that's why I use my unicycle. Because it works every part of your body, from your brain to your arms to your legs. And it's needed, well, in my case, it's needed to keep me alert and patient for other people.
Oh, and Abby is so patient. That is one of your number one. Yes, you have the skills to fix things, but your patience wins people over. And I've heard it over and over and over about Abby, her patience. Sometimes I'll have people look at the car or look at the whatever appliance is broken or whatever, and you can tell they're starting to get frustrated at me because I have no clue what things are. You start talking about certain things in the car. I know the car has an alternator. I don't know where it is. I know the car has a motor, but I don't really understand, how it runs because that's not my job. That is a mechanic's job. I don't want to learn how to be a mechanic. That's not what my specialty is. Now, can I go help that mechanic get business by advertising for him or her or putting things online socially or out there in the real live world? Absolutely. But I cannot talk about a motor. I really don't know anything about it. So I stay in my lane. I specialize in one thing. I'm going to let you specialize in the other, but I may have questions because I need to learn a little bit, even if I don't want to. And two, when you spend money, you kind of want to make sure you're spending it with the right person. See, it comes
Yeah.
to that like, know, and trust factor again. Now I've been working with Abby so long is I just say, oh, why is my laptop running slow? And then I message Abby. If the windows are not coming up correctly, I just message Abby. She takes over and I ask no more questions because guess what? I trust whatever she's doing is right for me, for my situation. So
Yes.
Abby, I'm thrilled that we met
Me too.
several months ago. I mean, what now? Probably close to a year or so. And it's just been a blessing all the way around. It's been a
Yes.
blessing to get to know you and your business and your skills, and even just being a normal person, even if you took your tech away, just Abby, you're a beautiful person inside and out. So always remember
Thank
that.
you.
And thank you so much for being here with me today on the Networking Expert. We
Glad
are
to be here.
getting ready to head into a new week now. So we're going to have Monday Mojo, and you're going to be talking with our Millionaire Marketplace. And then we go into our coffee time. I mean, we're just growing more and more every day. So that's what
Yes.
we want to continue to do and teach people and just be there for them when they're ready for us. So thank you so much, Abby, and have a beautiful rest of your day. And I'll see you soon. Bye
Yes.
bye now.
Looking forward to it. Bye.
Bye bye.